Welcome to another day of Prayer Points, brothers. As we talk this week about the spiritual discipline of staying hungry. And by being hungry, I mean hungry for God or hungry for spiritual things. And today we're going to focus primarily on being hungry for ways to serve God more. When I think about the idea of hungering for God, I think about my favorite dessert, and that's cheesecake. I don't care where I go. If they have cheesecake on the menu, I'm going to order it. And when they set that piece of cheesecake on a plate in front of me with a drizzle of chocolate on it, I can't help myself. The moment where my fork slices into that cake and I lift it to my mouth and I savor every bite, oh, it's just, I think about it now and my mouth waters. Well, let me ask you this. Is it possible that we can think of our God in that way? Think about it. The physiological act of craving a piece of cheesecake, well, it changes me completely. Why can't my spiritual craving for God also change me completely, but on a much higher, much deeper, much more intense level? Are you craving God right now? Are you craving ways that you can serve God? In one of the Psalms, David writes, "Serve the Lord with gladness." You know, I see a lot of people who they're caught in what's going on in their inner life. They're struggling with their self-esteem. They're struggling with their purpose. They're struggling for their place in this world. And when I ask them, well, what are you doing for God? Quite often they'll tell me they're not doing anything. And then I'll go a step further and I'll make suggestions for things they can do. Practical things. Things that don't cost any money. Things that you can do in a day, in an hour. That won't take a lot of time. And the sad thing is, a lot of people will still shrug it off and say, I'm just too busy for that. Well, the question is, brothers, do you want to serve God? Serving God, it gives us gladness, as the psalmist suggests there. Serving the Lord with gladness means when we serve the Lord, we're glad. And as we serve the Lord, we will crave more ways to serve Him. Brothers, it's not complicated. If we want a desire for God, it's not done out of the blue. We have to do things in ourselves to desire God. We cultivate it in ourselves by desiring God. And the more God we have, the more God we feel, the more God we want. And the more times we serve, the more times we want to serve. It's that simple, brothers. Do you want to crave ways to serve God? Find a way to serve God. And then you will want to serve God more. Well, I hope this helped you today, brothers. May God bless you. And may God cultivate that taste in you to serve Him more.